Okay, most hunters walk into a gun shop and they grab whatever their uncle recommends or whatever looked cool in a YouTube video. And I'm telling you right now, 99% of those decisions are wrong. They're hunting with the wrong rifle for the wrong reason. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Your rifle choice says everything about whether you actually understand ballistics or you're just another guy hoping luck compensates for ignorance. In 2026, 5 manufacturers have built rifles so engineered, so refined, that they've basically separated the serious hunters from everyone else. Sako, Browning, Weatherby, Bergara, Winchester. These aren't just names. These are philosophies about how a rifle should actually perform when conditions get nasty and the animal is 300 yards away. So I'm breaking down the top 5 rifle brands that are winning in the field and at the bench rest. And more importantly, I'm going to show you which one matches your actual hunting profile versus which one you think you need. Pay attention to this ranking, because your next rifle choice is about to matter. Rank 5. Winchester Model 70 look. The Winchester Model 70 isn't going to win hearts with trendy gimmicks or chasing the latest caliber fads, but what it does deliver is something far more valuable. It just works. For more than 8 decades, hunters have trusted this rifle as the rifleman's rifle, and the 2026 Extreme Weather SS variant proves that the old guard still commands serious respect on the mountain and in the field. Here's the deal. What separates the Model 70 from every other rifle on this list is its controlled round feed system, a mechanical inheritance from the legendary Mauser design. Think of it this way. When you work the bolt, the cartridge doesn't just get shoved into the chamber like some modern rifles do. Instead, the rim slides underneath a massive fixed extractor claw. The moment the round leaves the magazine, the entire cartridge is cradled and guided into the firing chamber under complete mechanical custody. This architecture lets you manipulate the action in any position, upside down, rifle tilted hard to one side, even during a hasty reload in thick brush, without risking a double feed or a dropped round. That matters when you're 6,000 feet up and the animal is 300 yards away. The downside here, and listen, there's always a catch, is that the action geometry isn't as modern as some semi-custom designs, which means the bolt throw angle is around 70 degrees, not the snappy 60 degrees you get from newer platforms. That extra rotational distance can feel sluggish during rapid fire drills, especially if you're comparing it side by side with a Sako or Browning. It's not a deal breaker for hunting, but competitive shooters will notice it immediately. The Extreme Weather SS builds this proven action into a stainless steel receiver paired with a free-floating barrel, also stainless, giving it inherent resistance to corrosion without relying solely on cosmetic coatings. Winchester wraps everything in a Bell & Carlson composite stock engineered with an internal aluminum bedding block, so the action locks into a zero-tolerance interface that won't flex or creep regardless of temperature swings or humidity. The MOA trigger breaks clean and consistent, and that 3-position safety on the bolt lets you manipulate a loaded round in the chamber with the hammer mechanically locked solid. Pure peace of mind in dangerous country. Street price sits around $1,500 to $1,600. Rank 4. Bergara B14 Wilderness Sierra. Stepping up the game now. Bergara is a Spanish manufacturer that completely redefined what value to accuracy really means in the hunting rifle marketplace. The B14 Wilderness Sierra isn't flashy. It doesn't carry the brand prestige of a Winchester or the tactical pedigree of a Sako. But what it does is deliver semi-custom rifle performance at a production rifle price point. That's the entire pitch, and honestly, it's working. The B14 platform is, by engineering consensus, the most refined clone of the Remington 700 footprint ever manufactured. Bergara obsesses over barrel production, and it shows. Jedediah's The Wilderness Sierra uses a chrome moly 4140 steel barrel, button rifled through an oven-controlled process and honed to absolute perfection. The taper is a medium-heavy number 5 profile, meaning it's stiff enough to resist thermal stringing when you're pushing volume downrange, but the rifling is cut with precision that puts many custom gunsmiths to shame. The muzzle brake is threaded and ready for a suppressor at 5/8 by 24, and the whole assembly wears a sniper gray Cerakote finish that's functional and elegant. When you rack the bolt, the 2-stage pull is buttery smooth. There's zero grinding, zero stickiness. That's precision manufacturing, full stop. Here's the friction point though. The Wilderness Sierra ships in a plastic-based composite stock, which some purists still consider cheap-looking compared to the traditional walnut you'd find on a Winchester or the aerospace composites on a Sako. The aesthetics won't turn heads at a gun club gathering, and that matters psychologically to some hunters. But here's the counter-argument. That soft-touch finish with the Wilderness camo pattern actually grips your hands better in rain and snow than high-gloss wood ever could. Function over form wins in the field. What makes this rifle dangerous value is the modular bottom metal system. Bergara cut the stock with an M5 cutout, meaning you can swap the standard hinged floor plate for aftermarket systems from Hawkins Precision or others, converting the gun to accept AICS pattern detachable magazines in seconds. No gunsmithing, no fitting, no waiting. The adjustable cone lets you dial in perfect eye relief. The action is bedded to absolute zero tolerance, and the engineering is so clean that the rifle prints sub-minute of angle accuracy out of the box. All of this for just over $1,000. That's not budget pricing. That's highway robbery in the manufacturer's favor. Rank 3. Weatherby Model 307. Entering the elite tier now. And listen, I'm about to introduce you to a rifle that represents one of the most calculated strategic moves in the modern gun industry. Weatherby, the Wyoming manufacturer known for decades of Magnum excess and unapologetic velocity worship, made a stunning pivot in 2026. They took their engineering DNA and grafted it onto the Remington 700 platform, a move that democratized their Magnum heritage in ways that would have been unthinkable 5 years ago. The Model 307 action is a 2-lug bolt design with a short 60-degree throw. And here's what matters. Weatherby engineered this as a toolless teardown. You can strip the 3-piece bolt assembly and clean crud and snow out of the firing pin channel in the field without a single gunsmith tool. That might sound niche, but in Alaska or high-altitude hunting, where temperatures drop to -30 and contamination becomes survival, this is a real advantage. The extractor isn't the old weak C-clip design that plagued Remington 700 rifles for decades. Weatherby upgraded to an M16-style extractor, paired with a plunger ejector system that rips empty brass out with conviction, even when you're shooting their proprietary Weatherby Magnum cartridges loaded to triple-digit pressures. Now here's the catch, and I'll be straight with you. Ammunition cost for Weatherby Magnum rounds runs 20 to 30% higher than standard calibers, and your reloading costs mirror that because you'll be chasing premium brass and powders. If you're hunting on a budget or doing volume training, that supply chain overhead adds up fast. It's not a mechanical flaw in the rifle, it's a financial gravity well you inherit by choosing the Magnum lineage. But Weatherby smartly offers 2 distinct personalities to solve different hunting problems. The Alpine MDT variant strips weight down to a featherweight 6.38 pounds by wrapping the 307 action in a magnesium alloy MDT chassis with a folding carbon fiber stock and integrated ARCA rail underneath. You're carrying this rig up a 10,000-foot saddle with a suppressor and a spotting scope, and you won't even feel it. Then there's the Adventure SD with genuine fancy walnut, gussied up with wood inlays and diamond pattern accents. It's gorgeous in a way that makes you want to slow motion the rifle while walking across an alpine meadow. Both variants share TriggerTech field triggers dialed to sub-3-pound brakes, giving you the mechanical precision of a match trigger without the finesse required to run it. This is what happens when a 70-year-old Magnum specialist gets serious about the 2026 market. Rank 2, Browning X-Bolt 2. Now here's where it gets serious. The Browning X-Bolt 2 has systematically adapted itself to the suppressor-dominated hunting landscape of 2026, and the engineering underneath is frankly magnificent. The platform uses a short-barrel architecture, 18 inches for 6.5 Creedmoor, 20 inches for the hard-hitting 6.8 Western or 7mm PRC, and these barrels wear a distinctive belled muzzle design that flares slightly at the crown. This geometry matters because it provides proper shoulder geometry for a suppressor's mounting threads. When you thread a titanium can down those threads, alignment becomes concentric and absolute. That means zero baffle strikes. The suppressor internals never kiss the bullet during its journey downrange. This is the difference between a suppressor that whispers and one that sounds like a rattlesnake in a metal trash can. Browning engineered a rotary magazine system that sits flat against the rifle body, which accomplishes something nobody talks about. It protects the ogive of your ammunition from deformation. If you're running premium hunting rounds stacked inside traditional stick magazines, the tips get crushed, and that mangled bullet shape bleeds ballistic coefficient in ways a field calculator will never catch. The 3-lug bolt wears that snappy 60-degree throw, and the bolt guide surfaces inside the action are oversized and aggressive. That prevents bolt bind when you're executing speed reloads in the field, or when conditions demand brute force manipulation. But here's the friction point, and listen, it's real. The Veritech modular stock system is brilliant, but it demands setup work. Out of the box, you're dialing comb height, installing spacers for length of pull, potentially swapping grip modules if you want a vertical tactical profile instead of traditional sporter geometry. Some hunters just want to grab a rifle and shoot. This isn't that gun. You're expected to invest time in tuning the ergonomics to your frame, and that iterative process can feel like running a software update instead of picking up a hunting tool. Overcome that initial friction, and you're rewarded. Once the stock is dialed, your eye relief becomes locked to optical axis perfection, and that translates into faster target acquisition when adrenaline is hammering. The DLX trigger system ships at 3.5 pounds and adjusts down to 3. It breaks like snapping frozen glass, crisp and mechanical with zero creep, zero take-up, zero over-travel. In pressure situations, this trigger construction reduces shot deviation because your finger isn't wrestling a squishy press that invites flinch. Price runs $1,200 to $1,600 depending on caliber and options. Rank 1, Sako 90 Adventure. Listen, here's the monster. The Sako 90 Adventure doesn't just occupy the top position. It fundamentally rewrites what a production hunting rifle can accomplish. This isn't marketing hype wrapped in wood veneer. This is Finnish engineering, the country that literally invented resilience in frozen territories, married to ballistic science that outclasses everything below it. Sako earned Editor's Choice from Outdoor Life for a reason. The rifle is a synthesis of technologies stolen from tactical sniper platforms and aerospace metallurgy, all distilled into a tool designed to function when it's -40 degrees and your hands are numb. The heart of Sako's dominance is lock time, the millisecond interval between trigger break and primer ignition. The 90 achieves lock time under 1.3 milliseconds. To put that in brutal context, a Remington 700 standard action runs around 2.6 milliseconds, and a Winchester Model 70 pushes 3 milliseconds or higher. That sub 1.3 performance isn't marginal improvement. It's a fundamental reduction in the window where your body can introduce flinch or torque the rifle off axis. In real field conditions, when you're breathing hard, adrenaline is flooding your system, wind is gusting. That mechanical advantage collapses shooter error in ways nothing else on this list can match. It gives you the rugged reliability of the Weatherby in frozen terrain, but with precision time to fire that makes the Browning look crude by comparison. The action itself uses 3-lug bolt geometry with a 60-degree throw, but Sako's execution is surgical. The cam surfaces are hand-finished to tolerances that would make a Swiss watchmaker nod in approval. The result is a cocking stroke that feels like oil on glass. Zero grinding, zero resistance, just pure mechanical authority. But here's where Sako gets clever. They dumped the older controlled round feed design of their legacy Sako 85 platform and went full push feed, paired with dual plunger ejectors. That means the cartridge rim is completely enveloped inside the bolt face, providing catastrophic structural support if, and this matters in Magnum territory, a cartridge ever overpressures and splits. The dual ejectors ensure that brass exits the ejection port with decisive violence, a critical feature when you're operating in sub-zero conditions where frozen firing pin residue can lock up the extraction cycle. Sako wrapped all of this in a composite stock engineered from glass fiber reinforced polymer, a material that maintains dimensional stability across temperature swings that would make wood warp and twist. The adjustable comb uses a button latch system, and the recoil pad incorporates textured rubber gripping surfaces that stay tacky even when soaked. Every metal surface, the stainless steel barrel forged under hammer, the receiver, wears tungsten Cerakote, a ceramic hybrid finish that laughs at saltwater corrosion, acid rain, and the electromagnetic galvanic corrosion that destroys traditional blued steel in coastal mountain ranges. The trigger is user-adjustable from 2 pounds 1 ounce up to 4 pounds 2 ounces without removing the barreled action. You access it through the trigger guard with a Torx T20 wrench and dial it to your personal preference. Street price runs $2,700 to $3,500 depending on caliber, and it's worth every penny. Here's why the Sako 90 claims the throne. It delivers the mechanical finality of Winchester's controlled round feed architecture, the ergonomic modularity of Browning's platform, the Magnum pedigree engineering of Weatherby, and the manufacturing precision of Bergara, all unified into a single rifle that prioritizes absolute reliability and ballistic performance above all else. It doesn't make excuses. It doesn't require optimization work. It shows up and it works. Whether you're hunting desert bighorn at 11,000 feet or chasing moose through Alaska's interior, the competition is excellent. The Sako is supreme. So, here's what matters now. You've got 5 manufacturers that have each solved the hunting rifle equation in different ways. Winchester preserved mechanical purity. Bergara cracked the code on value and precision. Weatherby reclaimed their Magnum legacy without gatekeeping it. Browning engineered an ecosystem around suppressor integration that actually works. And Sako just built the rifle that wins when everything else is equal. Your choice isn't dictated by what's missing anymore. Every rifle on this list will put a bullet where you need it, in weather that would break lesser equipment. The decision now is philosophical. Are you hunting in frozen terrain where reliability in the cold is non-negotiable? Sako. Are you on a budget and refuse to compromise on accuracy? Bergara will humiliate rifles that cost 3 times as much. Do you want modular ergonomics and suppressor integration baked in from the factory? Browning already solved that equation. Do you value mechanical heritage and pure controlled round feed security? Winchester owns that space. And if you're chasing magnums or need a platform that scales from backcountry to dangerous game, Weatherby cleared that path decades ago. The modern hunter isn't constrained by gear anymore. You're constrained by ammunition selection. by understanding ballistic drift, by shooting practice, and by the clarity to know what you actually need versus what the internet tells you to want. These 5 rifles represent the absolute summit of production manufacturing in 2026. They're not competing for participation trophies, they're competing for your hunt. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you downrange.